in his eyes and see he's all wired up. You feel me? That dude ain't gangsta, he ain't tough, he ain't nobody, bro. He just has a problem, he's a narc, and he's narking. Like I said, you trying to tell me they put him in prison and y'all can't even bail him out? I mean, at least bail him out, at least show you have some money. Like I said, no jumper didn't make no money. That Adam 22 or whatever his name is, he never had no bread. I've been telling y'all that. It's all a joke. Feel me? I'll be back in a minute.
We begin today at the White House, where President Donald Trump spoke from the Oval Office earlier today. As you saw right here on CBS News 24/7, the president making a lot of news on a Friday. He announced Boeing will build the Air Force's future fighter jet. The president also says the Small Business Administration will take over the handling of student loans. That's from the Education Department. That comes after he signed an executive order aimed at dismantling the Education Department. But we also heard a lot more from the president, including on the Venezuelan migrants deported from the U.S. to El Salvador. Take a listen to that.
Well, I was told that they went through a very strong vetting process and that that will also be continuing in El Salvador. And if there's anything like that, we would certainly want to find out. But these were a bad group. This was a bad group, and they were bad areas, and they were with a lot of other people that were absolutely killers and murderers, and people that were really bad with the worst records you've ever seen. And but we will continue that process, absolutely. We don't want to make that kind of a mistake.
Joining us now is CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. Aaron, always great to see you. What are the big takeaways from this?
Liz, good to be with you. Picking up off of that bit on Venezuela, Trump was asked how or if he has the authority to deport these migrants without giving evidence to a court. The Department of Justice and the law, and there's a lawsuit right now to try and get more information from them. We could potentially be seeing more on that later. Trump defended that, though, and said, quote, that's what the law says. As you mentioned, though, the fighter jet announcement, the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was also in attendance while he was there. Trump denied reports that Elon Musk was going to meet with Hegseth and other Pentagon leaders on a potential war plan with China. Trump said that is unequivocally false. He was also brought up the Department of Education dismantling, as you mentioned, student loans going to the Small Business Administration. He also said that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of HHS will be leading nutrition and special needs tasks from the Department of Education. So another showing that they're looking to divvy up what was remaining of that department as they're looking to shut it down completely, though they will need Congress in order to do that.
Yes. And Aaron, the president also talked about Ukraine and Russia. It's important to note this weekend the leaders from both countries will meet in Saudi Arabia to talk about a potential ceasefire agreement. What are you hearing leading up to that?
Yeah, they'll be meeting in Riyadh throughout the weekend, potentially on Monday as well. President Trump previewed it a little bit, saying that they, quote, have the confines of the deal. He said there are contracts on dividing of land that were being negotiated as he was in the Oval Office talking to reporters. When asked a question about Russia continuing to attack Ukraine, Trump responded, quote, they are fighting against each other. So trying to keep, favor and influence on both sides going into these critical talks this weekend.
Yeah, it was one of those press conferences where he covered a lot of issues. Thanks so much for helping us make sense of it all. Thank you, Aaron. All right, let's get a CBS News Pentagon reporter, Eleanor Watson. Ellie, we want to get back to the news from President Trump about these fighter jets. He announced Boeing will build the fighter jet of the future. What do we know about this?
Wow. I felt like this when I earned my jump wings.
We've been talking about mistakes that stackers could make or have made. What would you say is the biggest mistake a new stacker could make right now?
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987. We're now down 43%. This could be the most serious recession in decades.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver IRAs. Learn more at sdbullion.com/IRA.
Well, I see we have some of these milky maples in the, well, it's not really the junk tray, kind of the discount pile here, Harry.
Yeah, basically those will sell at melt or a hair under because, frankly, they're ugly. And if you put them out with the pretty ones, why would you buy the ugly ones at the same price?
Yeah, well, someone's going to get a good deal on it, though.
Someone will, and they won't be here for, they'll be gone in the first hour of the shop being open. Because that's, it is a great deal. It's a full ounce of silver. They're just very unattractive.
A face only a mother could love, right?
Yeah, right. And as you once described in an earlier video, it's a security feature. Those are genuine.
Yeah, genuine. Well, at least you're offering a good deal to someone out there, and it is still real silver. I mean, you're still getting an ounce.
Yeah, it is. It's just, we talk about, when customers call us about selling us things, we talk about the price we're quoting is for retail-friendly product. If it's pretty, people want it. If it's not, no one's going to want it.
Yeah.
At least not at normal prices.
So it's on sale for a reason.
Yeah, because it's just unattractive.
Well, what would you say is sort of the best deal in the shop? I mean, I guess these are probably the cheapest, but of all the other stuff, we got, junk silver, silver rounds, we got some gold down here we can look at, but what would be the best deal?
Consistently in recent times, the junk silver is the best deal on a per ounce basis, and we're trying very hard to keep lots of it in stock because we sell lots of it. Interestingly, we even have mercury dimes in abundance now, which, for a while was just about impossible, but maybe we've overwhelmed the demand with product.
You increased the supply.
We did. I mean, not on purpose. It's just, that's what's been coming through the door, and we're very, very grateful because we sell far more mercury dimes than Roosevelt dimes.
Yeah. I mean, I do prefer the mercury dimes. We talked about this. Either way, I mean, you're still getting something that's recognizable, it is silver, and if you need to spend it in the future, you'll be glad you have it, right?
Yeah, and for the viewers who may not have seen an earlier video, or for new subscribers, the mercury dime only came in silver, whereas the Roosevelt dime looks the same now as it did in 1946, so you gotta look at the date or the edge to see, is it silver or is it clad? You see a mercury dime, it's done, it's silver. That's one of the reasons it's so popular. And frankly, it's a beautiful design, even when it's very well done.
Yeah, that is true. Can we take a look at your gold, Harry?
Absolutely.
Wow, I think this might be one of the first times I've come into the shop, and it's all U.S. gold. That's all you got.
Except for a lone 10th ounce Krugerrand.
Oh no, I didn't even see it. It was kind of hidden in there with the eagles.
These are pretty cool too, the little half-ounce holder. It's got 5 American gold eagles, so that makes it pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen those holders before. What's the purpose of that? Just to kind of show it off?
It's a way to display them. It's pretty fun to have. 5 of them, it's the visible gold. You have it all in one package, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, at 3,000 plus, there's no great deals on gold. I just admittedly, it's at a price level that none of us saw coming, at least not, say, a year ago. But now, I think, 3,100 could be just a day or two away, just because it's broken through that psychological barrier of $3,000.
So when it comes to gold, what are the customers wanting to buy? Are they wanting to buy just whatever you have, they don't care, or are they picky?
Extremely picky. I don't have what they want, order it for them, or they just don't buy. At this price, no one's going to just settle. In the past, when gold was, say, $1,800 an ounce, they might come in looking for a gold eagle, but I might have Australian kangaroos and be like, yeah, okay, an ounce is an ounce. Well, in the high 2000s and certainly over 3,000, people come in, they want what they want. That's a lot of money to lay out. What I'm finding, and I think Adrian would agree, the vast majority of gold buyers want U.S. gold, eagles or buffaloes.
That's it.
So when we pointed out that 10th ounce Krugerrand earlier, I promise you, if all these 10th ounces go today, this will be the last one left.
Wow. So what's the reason for that? Just because we live in America, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perception of quality. It's the fact that it's U.S. currency. It's legal tender. It's recognizable. It's not something they have to go home and look up. It's a gold eagle or it's a gold buffalo. And at 3,000, well, with the premium at 3,100 plus for an ounce, they want what they want. What's happening is when people come to sell us world gold, like maple or Krugerrand, or kangaroo, or frankly, worse yet, bars, we're having to buy those a little backup spot, and most of that's going to the refiner. couple of times a week because they just sit here.
Oh, so the U.S. gold you buy, you put out in the case to sell to other people, but the other stuff just gets melted?
Well, some gets melted. If the refiner also sells that type of coin, say a maple, they're not going to melt it. But, for instance, there's two kinds of gold maples. There's 3/9s, the early years, and the 4/9s gold. The 3/9s are melted. The 4/9s they resell. But the point is, people want the U.S. And so between visits to the refiner, I'll put it out. The Krugerrands, the maples, the kangaroos, the Britannias. But what ends up happening almost every time is all or most of it is there on my next visit to the refiner, and I just take it there.
So was that a mistake then for people who bought sort of the world coins or gold bars? I mean, should they have just gone with American stuff?
There was a time when I would say no, it wasn't a mistake. At a time when people would buy what you had, but at a time when people are very particular and want the U.S., it's becoming a mistake. You know, if you're looking to buy now, I know I'm hurting myself by saying this, but I would get U.S. In fact, Costco mostly sells like maples, and you sell some U.S., but they sell bars. And what happens is they're calling shops like ours after they buy it looking for a quick profit, and are often very disappointed when we tell them we're a little below melt on those. Because they got a good deal at Costco based on the spot price, but if they're looking to do a quick flip, they're going to be very disappointed if they bought the maples or the bars.
So if people are looking to buy gold right now, you recommend go American?
100%. Because when you go to sell it, you're going to more than likely get spot for it. You certainly will here. You buy something that's not American, you will not get full spot because it just doesn't sell. And for those who would be critical of me buying it back a spot, bear in mind that when we bring it to the refiner, we're not getting spot for it. We're getting under spot as well.
Even when we have it here at the shop, people are even reluctant and sometimes pay spot for it. Don't feel bad if you bought maples or Krugerrands before that's run up in gold, because guess what? You're up on that stuff. Your cost per ounce was lower, so you know you're up. So I would say don't feel bad if you own Krugerrands and golds. But if you're buying right now, I would say what Harry's saying. You know, definitely go with the American Eagles or the Gold Buffalo for sure.
And then what about for sizing? Because we have some 1 ounce, and then we also have the 10th ounce. It's going to be a lower premium to get a full ounce of gold, obviously, but it costs a lot less to make one of these than 10 of these. But what if someone can't afford the whole ounce? Should they go 10th ounce, or should they just wait and save up?
If you can hold and save for that 1 ounce of gold, I definitely say, take the time and do that.
The premium is so much different. Adrian's making an important point for everyone, and let's just review the arithmetic.
So yeah, just looking at the premium, the 1/10 ounce, $45 each. That's the premium. So if you add it all up, that's $450, right, Harry?
Yeah, and that's for an ounce. The premium on 10 of those is $450 for an ounce versus $130 for a true ounce, in the form of one coin.
Yeah.
So like Adrian says, if you have the discipline and the ability to save that ounce, and I think I should re-emphasize what Adrian just said too, that angry or too disappointed that where you bring your gold, to say it's a maple and you get a little less than spot, because most of you have held the gold prior to the big run-up, and so you're still way ahead. So it's just that when the dealer has to buy this, you have to have an eye towards what am I going to do with it. And frankly, at these prices, at over $3,000, owning inventory that doesn't move, like a Krugerrand or a bar, is very, very expensive. I mean, you're thinking about, if I bought 10 Krugerrands from someone, I'm tying up $30,000 for something that I'm pretty certain won't sell.
Well, and if gold keeps going higher, I mean, can you imagine if it goes to 4,000, 5,000? Now you're tying up $50,000 to buy 10 ounces.
Well, I think it's going to do that over time, and for the average dealer, not the big boys out there, but for the average dealer like us, I think you're going to see there's a lot of pressure on us to keep this stuff moving fast.
It also depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you ever think that barter's in our future, the 10 ounces do have a purpose because it's smaller, divisible pieces of gold. So they do carry a premium. It depends what you're doing, but if you can hold out for that 1 ounce, I would say definitely hold out.
Yeah, and it's just fun to hold the 1 ounce, It feels nice in the hand, and You got a whole ounce of gold right there.
Yeah, we could have storage. I love those.
Well, what about buying in general right now, Harry? I've heard some people say, you know, the price is going up. I feel like I kind of missed the boat. You know, I wanted to buy, but it just keeps going up. Should they wait and try and time it? Hopefully it drops again, or what should they do?
Well, we've all missed the boat because all you have to do is look back into the past. We've all bought at higher prices than it used to be, whenever that was. In the 1930s, you know, you could get gold for face value, basically a $20 gold piece for $20. So that would have been a really good time to buy. The idea that you missed something is really irrelevant. What's relevant is that you have a plan, whatever your buying plan is, whatever the ounces and the frequency and your budget allows, without getting in trouble. Stick to that plan. The price is not you or I can control, but you can control your plan. So if you have a plan to buy, you know, an ounce of gold or silver or whatever the precious metal is at a certain period of time, just stay with it. It'll smooth out the peaks and the valleys of the high and the low prices. It'll keep the average price of your stack more manageable than trying to time the market, which, as Adrian just mentioned a moment ago, is impossible.
Yeah.
You can't time it. You can't control any of that. And so you just control your plan.
Now, what if someone has a large chunk of money, say they got an inheritance, or maybe they've just been saving up cash for a long period of time, they got a big chunk, and they want to put it into precious metals. Should they do it all at once, or should they wait and do a little bit at a time?
I'd like Adrian's take on this too, but I think dollar cost averaging is the same whether you have it all the money at once or you earn it over a period of time.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because we've had a lot of orders, people coming in that are moving properties and they're getting into gold because they're seeing that it's something that's keeping up with inflation and they want to protect that money than just leaving it in a bank account where interest rates are a joke. Definitely what Harry said, it's, you know, one step at a time, one bite at a time. You know, we gotta not go completely 100% into gold. It's good to be diversified, but if you have some extra money you can put into silver or gold, I don't think it's a bad idea personally. You know, it's not financial advice, but it's a good idea to be diversified.
But maybe like 10% at a time or a smaller percentage.
Yeah, I mean, just gotta have some exposure to it, especially with seeing the prices of gold running up like they have. And, you know, because it's like Harry and I have talked about it before, it's like people, when gold hit 2,000 an ounce, they're like, oh, you know, I'm gonna wait for it to drop back down to 1,500 or 1,600. And I'm still waiting, you know, I'm still waiting. So it's like, I'm not trying to fear people into buying gold, but it's like if you're thinking of getting into gold, you know, yeah, once it hits 3,000, it'll fluctuate a little bit above 3,000, maybe a little under 3,000 again, but I don't know how long that's going to be because things are just creeping up.
Yeah.
Think about everything in your current day-to-day life. What has gone down?
Practically nothing.
Everything's gone up, so one step at a time. Time yourself, don't be in a rush. Don't make any bad decisions where you can hurt yourself. But some exposure to the market is better than no exposure.
I think it's a much better place to be than just in cash.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that has kind of gone down is cash, really.
But even if you come into a large quantity of cash, inheritance or your home sold or whatever the reason you win the lottery, we're always talking about bad news driving the price up, but good news could drive it down. Let's say peace breaks out all peace in Ukraine, there's peace in the Middle East, the economy's booming, and the banks are paying decent interest. You know, 3,000 gold could become 2,000 gold, and if it did, and you spent all that chunk all at once for 2,000, you definitely didn't dollar cost average. You're not going to be happy with yourself. So I still think a big chunk of money should be fed in over a period of time to any market, gold, stocks, real estate.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think dollar cost average, that's what I've been doing for the last 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I just slowly been growing my stack. And, you know, yeah, sure, silver's at $33, $34 an ounce, but I remember buying Eagles for $17 each.
You look back on that, and that was a great bargain, but now the Eagles are $38 today. That could be a great bargain 2 years from now, but just work your plan.
You know, even say that silver would have dropped, you'd still be okay because if you keep it consistent, you're going to cost average.
And you don't ever lose any money if you just hold on to it forever,
Your
right?
ounces don't go down, right?
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, that's a really good point, isn't it?
yeah, it's, you know, the
Yeah.
price might fluctuate, but not your ounce.
I have been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce.
Just like a woman.
And I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I have 4 kids. We both work full-time. We've been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like, on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men, and we have amazing relationships, and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load.
Yes, because you don't earn as much money as he does, and you have more free time than he does.
And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night, when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day, when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home, and I need you to do more.
So, basically, you're saying you don't have what it takes to be a wife and mother. Got it.
And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier, because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher.
Favorite water bottle? Because drinking from anything else is cringe, right? Considering I was your kid's age in the early 90s in post-communist Romania, when we didn't have a washing machine, so my mom taught me how to do my own laundry by hand, and the idea of a dishwasher was something straight out of Star Trek, I truly wonder sometimes how my parents and I actually managed to survive. Oh yeah, we got shit done and didn't whine about it.
So why do you still suck? Get good!
And he said, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. Because what he's done has not made me late for work.
Oh, sure. And your work is just as important as his work, isn't it?
My husband and I put $70,000 a year in childcare.
That is crazy.
And people want to know, how do we afford it? Specifically, what do we do for work? How are we able to pay that much money for childcare? And here's the thing, I will tell you what we do, because a lot of people are wondering, are you working in medicine? Are you in tech? Are you lawyers? What are you doing to earn enough money to pay for that? But we live in Massachusetts, which is a very high cost of living area, which means our salaries are relative to that cost of living. We also have the highest childcare costs in the country. So our childcare costs are incredibly expensive. It is very difficult to afford childcare here in Massachusetts. My husband is a blue-collar worker. He is a miner, which means he fixes electricity on utility poles. It is a very dangerous job. He gets paid like a base salary, and then everything is hourly overtime after that. Like, most of his pay comes from overtime. So he's trading his time for money. And that is how we budget for childcare. We'll say, how much overtime do you have to work to be able to pay for this amount of the childcare budget? And on average, he's working like between 400 and 600 hours of overtime a year, I think. The numbers change every single year based on the weather and the storms, etc. But he works a ton of overtime. I work from home in a remote position for a startup in e-commerce. I am in operations management. I am lucky because I've worked for the same team for about 10 years. And so I make a little over $100,000 a year.
So he made you late for work, which is walking into the living room of your big air-conditioned house turning on your computer.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
On the other hand, he's climbing up giant electricity towers, risking death every day, and doing overtime so he can pay 70K a year for childcare for kids he barely gets to see because he's always working. Equality, am I right?
No. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I asked him to do it. Or because I do it myself. Or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him. But because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship.
So, even though he's never cheated and never got violent with you or your kids, and he's the perfect husband on paper, and he brings in the majority of the household income, and on top of that, still helps you with household chores, which is your freaking job, you felt taken advantage of and wanted to divorce him because he forgot to empty the dishwasher as he was late for his daily brush with death. Oh, yeah, I mean work. Good advantage, sir.
And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me. But we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky. And I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants to make me happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship.
I'm sorry. Did you just say equity?
And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like.
Shut up.
You know what, sweetie? I'm just gonna say it. Working from home for an e-commerce startup is a billion times less important because if men like your husband didn't exist, you wouldn't have electricity to turn on your
You headed to the gym.
Jeez, yes. But, I thought maybe I'd swing by and see if you had any new games before I went to practice. And...
Relax. Hisatome's not here.
No, nothing like that.
It's summer break. I'd be shocked if he was doing anything but playing Shangri-La. You still haven't found him in game.
Well, you said he always plays as Sunraku, so I've been scouring the beginner zones for anybody with that username, but no luck. And as far as I can tell, he's chosen to skip the first tutorial city entirely.
Just like if the chart is at fourth, huh? Still playing like it's another garbage game. Yeah, he's gonna do crazy stuff other players won't. And he'll probably run into some unique scenarios, too.
Never been so glad to see backup arrive. Hell, lucky I'm still in one piece. I need you to
He's a trash gamer living in a AAA world.
Help me save this town. Copy.
Then you can tell him how you feel.
Please don't wait up for me.
Unique scenarios recommended for the beginners.
Listen up. We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for. Last seen in town. Locating and extracting them is now your top
Scenario triggers if you have a powerful weapon equipped.
Oh, good! Going batshit in prison didn't affect my aim.
Visit.
Bonus points.
Player stifle. Once you arrive at Rabbit
Last thing you need in combat is uncertainty. But there I am again.
If you're successful, you should have more perspectives. Scenario described here is waiting. That's my type. Sure, he had nothing like that crime lord looking character.
Body seems to be over any worse than Richtofen.
What do you say? You and me, you might spare a bit of your time. I'm a powerless Rabbitusa, you answered. Name's by Sash. Not bad. You went toe-to-toe in the nightclub and held your own. Got a hell of a woman so long, that's for damn sure.
Double
It's all the vocal solo, Jumbo.
I'm in no mood for your shit today, Box. Cough up the goods.
You game? I'd love to get you up to snuff. But is anything you can have with this guy? What? Oh, holy crap, man!
I don't trust you, Box.
It's a Caribbean trading quest.
I don't trust in anything since you went
Unique scenario. I bet it's ridiculous, Box. Snuff me up,
The
dude!
words consolation prize come to mind.
Four hands. God, by Sash. Oh, by Sash. Oh, man. I was just messing around, sir. God, die. I messed up bad. I just ruined this.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow. Meow 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 meow.
I reserve those with potential.
See the face on that thing? Oh, I got it.
Meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow.
He was gonna skin me alive. There you go. I want you to follow. Keep it quiet.
Any day now. Are we waiting for these rotting bats to have a change of heart?
Pump the brakes. I've been playing for a long time and I'm pretty wiped out. I was thinking I might be calling
What happened, Hahaa? It'd be a real shame.
I keep going. I won't have time to read up on unique mobs and scenarios.
Very well. This is the perfect time to show you the end.
Ooh, really? I can set my respawn point and grab a tooster? Yes, please.
Whatever you need, leave it up to me.
Oh, boy, someone. Hey, what the heck? Really? Also, this thing got my me.
It's no use. The calling sticks wrapped around your neck until I say the word.
Throwing Semtex.
If the weak and devil grow strong, we must face extreme hardships to reach the potential. Whatever life takes you, never forget your purpose.
I've gone from fuck this shit to cautiously optimistic.
At least there's the sweet buff.
Someone sand down your rough edges.
Times my normal stats as bonkers, even with half the XP.
I'm not even remotely sorry for what I'm about to do to you up this.
Can't find anything about Visash or vision portals. Anything about the Oracle Soul Core either. It's found a unique scenario where you visit the Palace of Rabbitusa. I'm the only person that's seen it. Yeah, just me. Let's look at that. Oops. Late for my appointment. Stupid Katsu. Of course he chose to have our meet up in Burke. Been forever since I logged in.
Berserk Online. What?
For short.
Or Berk? In the past, the rock was
All aboard Weaver Scouts.
naturally against you. Its player base has dwindled to less than 100 scientists per year, living in a most of those that still play have known each other. A like-minded community of game enthusiasts. Treasure dinosaurs. Look, finally get the ball to show up. We doing this or what?
Any rules?
Ball. Do you even? Oh, man, if anything goes, my guy.
Oh, that is one creepy-ass exploit, dude.
This whole thing, just a little bug I found while you were busy slogging through failure, and
All I had to do was play another game, and now you're an elite hacker, huh? Not a madman like you pull off a pro move like this. Prepare your butt, boy! Quick draws!
twitching. You're still fucking. Your sloppy tentacle attack is no match for my fist of fury. As long as I've got at least 12 frames per second, I can even counter boss insta-kill moves. I'll smash him faster than you can throw. Dude, look! Border cops is fighting someone! Hey, I could be wrong, but isn't that Son Raku? Oh, holy crap!
Bird attracts a special niche of trash gamers, and we can see why here. Valet Tuno, or in this case, Bug Tuno, means any bug goes.
Security chief to new arrivals. Could have used you sooner, but welcome just the same. I'm in the mansion, command center. Injured, but intact. Most everyone else is, well, you've got eyes. Look, we need to get this situation under
Telling me
control.
the textures of her severed fist are still a part of your hitbox? Man, that was great. I've been doing nothing but stomping mobs into the ground, bro. A little trash gaming and PvP recharging at the spot.
When I got an email from you talking about financial I thought it's I guess it's legit.
Man, I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I'm addicted, man.
Oh, right. Pigs can fly.
Oh, listen. I've been deep diving the SLF.
Three of our scientists in town
These insanely powerful, unique mobs that are known as the Seven Colossi.
bring them home. We need
They're so rare the player base has only even discovered the names of them.
So what?
So, no one's been able to beat a single one of them since launch. Let's go down and get
It's only a bullet could love.
It's already over? Dang, I always miss these things. It was awesome. Guess what? Your boy Son Raku actually fought with me. Crap.
You're so hooked right now.
Yeah, probably. Just until I level up and
Straight in the
beat
Maybe I'll start playing too. Who knows?
For real? Yes, do it.
After hearing your little sales pitch, I kind of want to give it a shot. Besides, none of my IRL friends play Berg anyway. I'm sure you've already heard, but you know who is playing SLF too.
You know who?
I already sent him an email to let them know you hopped on board as well. Come on, bro, it's a big deal.
Not so says Rogers even SLF. Trash Panda decided to jump ship to a AAA title. Right, he had to strap tools that have killed him by now.
At least in Spec Ops, I knew what weapons I'd deploy with.